Hi, this is Ajinai Smolarkevich. I'm here with EJ and Israel on episode 2 of Why
Yo.
This Career, and I'm going to be sharing why I would like to be an infantry soldier whenever I grow up.
So,
Alright.
like, just to start this off, what isn't like? Are they called infantry soldiers? Is that just their name?
Infantryman, infantry soldiers, infantry.
Like
it's
military.
it's
Is that
all
military
interchangeable.
based?
Yes, it is. So basically, like the infantry is like the front line of national defense. We're deployed during times of war. We capture, destroy enemy forces on the ground. So basically, we're like
We're the SWAT
base.
team.
We're like the base soldiers. We're like the multitude. They send us in. We go get our job done. We come back home. It's all a good time.
You're the squadron that they rely on.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever you rank up, you can become like an infantry officer, and then you get to actually lead your own troops. So that's kind of
So
cool.
infantry has nothing to do with like Navy, Army.
No. This is all boots on the ground.
So it's Army.
Yes, Army.
Just Army? No other branches?
Mainly Army. It's a little bit Marines, a little bit,
Navy. I guess Marines probably. No SEAL.
a little bit.
Green
of SEAL.
Beret.
Not really. Maybe I don't know.
So, what like? How would you get this like as a career? Do you just go to like the military academy? that what
So
you
basically,
do?
it's about 2 to 4 years in college, and you obtain it at the U.S. Military Academy, like you were kind of saying.
Mhm.
And while you're there, you undergo intense physical training and military training. It's very strict. Sometimes you'll have random inspections, and if your room isn't kept clean, you got to run a couple miles. So I got to keep my room clean now, Mom.
That's what your parents have been paying you for your whole life.
Yeah,
The
I
room
mean, like,
inspections.
they're gonna love this.
So like, how would you So you just go to so there's only one college for it in Kansas, or like where's the college at? Are you talking about the
I
academy?
think it's in a Marine base. Is that what you said? Or Army base?
It's in the U.S. Military Academy, which is located.
Like, do you know what state
in,
that is, or like?
Well, there's
Multiple?
one. There's multiple, but there's like a main one. That's the one that has like the football team, Army. That's what they call it. But there is actually one in Kansas in Fort Leavenworth called Command and General Staff College, or CGSC.
Mm.
And if I was going to pursue an education, I'd either go to the official, Army college, or I would go to CGSC.
So you'd want to stay in you wouldn't want to go to a different state's college?
Possibly, yeah. I mean.
Would you have to meet a physical standard before you even are allowed in the college, or like?
I
like
mean,
it's the
to a
pull-up
certain
stuff?
level, yeah. You got to get like.
'Cause I've
You
heard
gotta have
that
that. You gotta have that
the
pull-up
Four,
game.
isn't it
you know?
14?
I heard you have to like have a. I didn't know if it like was to get into the school or like just get into like become an infantryman in the end.
I think it's the training. I
It's
don't know.
the training during. So boot camp is where I'll kind of have to meet that physical standard, but that's where the training in the college and all that stuff comes through at the academy. And since it's about 2 to 4
Oh.
years, you get pretty fit inside that time.
They let you so they just let anyone in. Anyone who wants to join, they just let in.
Well, they have to undergo a background check, of course.
Well,
They're not going to
obviously,
just
yeah.
let some criminals in who want to just go blow some stuff up.
Do you have
But
to have a high school degree at all?
yes, you do.
So you just need to complete high school, and then after that, you just go to college. And what would you do after that though? Like, would you just go to any army, or like?
So basically, you would be enlisted in the army at that point, and you would be deployed to one of the multitude of forts around the U.S. And from there, you could possibly get deployed.
What degrees like would you get from going to college though? Like
Yeah.
after finishing the academy, did you get any other degrees?
That I actually don't know.
Because it don't they still have just all the regular classes?
Basically, right? You got the math and the science and stuff, and I think there's also benefits where like you can get like your full like tuition like paid for by the army for
Like the
enlisting.
scholarships and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it is free. Yeah. So what skills would you need for it though? You already said physical skills. What other skills?
You need to be a bit more calm in like a crazy environment, because like if you're getting shot at, you can't just be like, oh crap, I'm getting shot at, and then just lay down, do nothing. You got to help out. I don't know if you want to call them like your brothers or something like that. Your friends.
Squadron.
Yeah, your fellow military personnel.
Do you need to have any brains? Is there certain like branches in between the infantry, like scout, and like?
There's just infantry soldier and infantry officer, and the officer is kind of like the
Leading man.
Yeah,
Is
he's the
officer
leading.
the highest you can
Yeah.
go?
Basically in the infantry, but if you wanted to go out to a different branch like the Marine, you could get higher rank than that.
I know like some branches they used to have like certain people for certain jobs like scouters. They'd see where the enemy is, and then like they'd use some type of machinery. Like would you be so infantry people? Is there certain people that run machines and certain people that just do field missions like drone like scouting and then
I do believe so, and officers, like you were saying, you're talking about scouts, right? Not officers. Yeah, officers basically do all of that. They basically are scouts. They come up with the plans. They send the messages to units. They order the use of weapons and equipment. They organize the construction of bunkers, foxholes, and all that kind of stuff. And they also used to the foxholes are used to keep the troops like out of enemy
sight.
Yeah.
It's like a hole in the ground, right?
Yeah, and the officers are also the people who like use like the armor, artillery, field engineering stuff.
So they're the ones who run the like engineering and like not engineering, but like the not mortars. Like
Do you know you build
Yeah.
trenches and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, I
that's-
guess yeah, but it's mainly now foxholes since we're not World War I. We're just making these huge old trenches. Now we just kind of have these portable bunkers. You kind of just come around. It doesn't take that much to set them up.
what would be like the work environment? Like you just go wherever they tell you to.
Yeah, basically wherever you're deployed, or if you stay back home, you could just be like almost kind of like local
mailman.
law enforcement.
It's like
you know?
National Guard.
Yeah.
That's what I couldn't think of what the name was. I don't know why. I kept thinking National Guard was for like the ocean.
I'm about to say National Guard ain't nothing near to the mailman.
Yeah, the mailman.
Are you thinking about the Coast Guard?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
Coast
Guard.
exactly
No,
what
that'd
it
be
is.
more of the sea base, like Navy
Beach, you know,
stuff
like
like that.
Baywatch.
And
Baywatch.
Baywatch. That's what I was thinking of. Like the movie though, not like the show. Like where they act like they're policemen. So we already answered like what education you need. You just need to be smart, I guess.
I mean, you have to have a certain level of like military IQ.
Expertise. Yeah, gotta have that.
Probably
Call
know,
of Duty
probably know your
grind.
history. Yeah, play some Call of Duty. You know, you get locked in for the big fight ahead. You know, I mean, I don't know. I've never been out deployed. It's not like I'm just like, hey guys, you guys want to hop on some Call of Duty?
So
You
what
know?
made you think of choosing being an infantry person?
Actually, it's Call of Duty. I mean, I just think that I think it's just cool, think about like clearing like
so
a room
basically
and
just
like
a
in a
regular
territory.
teenager in there.
I'm a regular. I'm kind of an adrenaline
Like-
junkie.
Oh,
I like
that's a good
to
answer. Good
I like to get
adrenaline.
stuff popping, I like to
It's
I don't
not
know why.
something-
I think if I was ever getting shot at, I think I just start laughing.
Like
That's what you like.
Slide
to do?
I like to go play
Alright.
paintball.
that's
I
up
know
to
you do
nuke,
too,
guys.
EJ. I know you love to go play paintball.
You
but
do
whenever I
airsoft,
go
right?
out- EJ, do you do paintball?
You're like,
I
Yeah,
know
never-
play
SWAT team
paintball. I
6,
play
SWAT team
paintball,
6,
yeah.
go around the corner, get the back.
Whenever
Go
I
full
play
SWAT
paintball,
mode.
whenever I play paintball, I'll like shoot out like 3 bullets, and I'll just get like a flurry back on me, and I'll be like, "Is that all you got? Like, keep them coming!" Like, I just love the
The
adrenaline.
trash doctor.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely that kind of guy.
I like airsoft better. I'm an airsoft guy, not gonna lie.
I haven't played airsoft
You
yet.
think that's gonna help you? In
It's
your
more
military
realistic, I
there?
feel like.
yeah,
Paintball
yeah.
is
I mean, they shoot at only me. I got all my teammates right behind me.
big target.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Hey.
Like
Okay.
you're really tall. Like
oh, okay.
so
okay.
like is there more men or women in this career?
Definitely more men. It's about 75 to 25% men to women.
Does that benefit anything at all or
I mean, men.
probably
and-
strength though, right? Cuz
Yeah,
I
no,
know
men
it
are
probably can be
very
like sound
strong.
like sex or something, but like men are stronger. Like there's not really a
Yeah.
lot of females out
Yeah.
there that can just beat up on another fully grown man. Like everyone goes like that's sexist because you think men are usually everyone knows men are stronger. It's like it's actually statistically proven.
Yeah. So no, it changes like how like the military works, but also there's just more men who are just. I don't know if this is true, but I believe that there may just be more men who are just like like willing to like join
Dumb.
the military. Yeah, they're
And
like,
there's more men that's like, hey, let's just go join the military.
I gotta go blow stuff up. Let's go do it.
Why'd you say it in that voice?
Sound
Let's
like
go do it.
I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's
Get
go
to the-
do it.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
So like, what's the salary like? Do you know?
So
is it-
so entry level, you're making about 20K to 30K a year. So it's not like the most amazing, but it isn't terrible.
That
Do you get
isn't that
signing
bad.
bonuses?
I
Signing bonuses.
I don't know for sure, but
So do you
probably.
do any sports, Ajay?
I do. I actually play football.
Just football. So you mentioned that they actually have a team there. Would you like? How do they pick people for the team? Do you just try out? Do you know?
I believe that they. Yeah,
don't
I
think
feel like you just try
They
out.
don't just recruit people for football.
I don't think so. Unless if they're like asking, they're like, "Hey, I'm interested in going to and joining the military."
They probably look at
you
your
could-
background and be like, "Hey, this kid did football. We should probably ask him if he wants to try it for the team when she goes to the academy."
It's probably
Would you-
the
something like
kids
that?
here at Hayes High. Whenever we have the Marine Corps and people, they're like, "Hey, you want to join the military?" The recruiters.
Our football team's pretty good. We're recruiting Jaron Kanik. So, basically, like you're talking about background checks. So that's probably when they do it, right? When they do background checks, like what school you went
Yeah.
to, what you did, what were your curriculars. So,
also, like any criminal activity that you could have done inside your past.
well, obviously I know that too. So, what's an experienced person look
Yeah.
like for infantry? Like
Like
100K
the
a
salary?
year?
Yeah, salary.
Salary is right around 40K to 65K, but an officer can make up to 95. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's infantry.
Yeah, but on Zella, they don't know everything,
So, what's the minimum wage?
Minimum
To
wage,
an hour.
I have no idea. What are you trying to show me?
It's 0.
Oh, it's 9.
Oh, it's $9.
$9 an hour is the minimum wage in the national. And experience, it's about 48. So maybe I might actually.
You
be
don't know
wrong.
what degrees you'd get. So, like, if you
Can you
end up-
pick your degree? You know that?
I believe so.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think they always say you can join the army, but you just still study your degree and everything. So like if you get a degree in like is there a degree called army or something like, or do you just get the thing that says completed military school?
I believe that it's something like that where
You'd
they're
be able
just
to,
like, good job. Here's a pat on your back. Let's go fight for your country.
So you'd be able to like go to any like Marine Corps after that, or would you
It would probably mainly be Army.
army? But oh, because you didn't do like the flying and stuff,
Yeah.
like Navy stuff. Navy's
No,
probably,
they Army's got pilots, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's
like,
mainly
not
Air
as much.
Force.
That's mainly Air Force though, you know.
And
Navy's
unless you're
just
like
a
an
little
infantry
bit.
officer, you can fly like helicopters and stuff.
So like, would you able so like after that you could be recommended for other jobs like a bodyguard or like a personal protector,
Or
something
like
like
SWAT
that?
officer, yeah,
Like
yeah,
FBI,
100%.
you know?
That's what most veterans
Secret
do.
Service.
Yeah, they'll go work for like the FBI or local law enforcement, or they'll work with like SWAT teams and stuff like that. But after the military, or they come back as like an officer
So,
or
like,
something like that.
Oh,
I had
you
this
can
question
become a
before. I
test
think I asked you
pilot.
this before we were recording, but like, what like injuries type? Like, you get insurance for it, right? Like,
On most of them, yes, and especially inside the Army. The Army, their benefits are health care, you get free education, and then you get the training. But if like your leg gets like blown off or something like that, they will cover you because you are, helping
so,
out.
but
for our
like,
country.
so I've seen people like this isn't. I don't know if this is in real life though. It probably is sometimes. But like in movies, sometimes people like hurt themselves just to get out of going to war. Would that the insurance like would you get like kicked off the infantry? Do you think?
you would receive an dishonorable discharge.
That's what
Yeah,
it's
that's what
called.
it's
I didn't know what
called.
it was called.
which
That's your
basically just
hazards.
means you're shamed.
Friendly
you're
fire.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you got your leg blown off because you were running into fight,
So basically, your
Some
hazards
enemy.
are dying or not dying.
yeah,
half dying.
basically, or just getting
real
hurt, really
You just
hurt.
get kicked off the
Really
insurance
hurt.
thing. So I don't know if this is true for infantry people, but I know that like my uncle was in the army. I think it was the army. He was in the army, and he gets like money like for like however long your service lasts. Is that for infantry people too?
Yes. So what kind of branch was he inside the like the
Army.
branch?
Yeah.
So basically, infantry that's like the branch like they fall in. So all army's just like the overall like name for it, but there's like the mini branches that go along. Infantry is one of them. So army they'd get the same benefits. So basically, as long as you're in service, you're getting paid, even if you're
So like
Not
basically, the
at
longer
a
the
fort.
service, the more higher pay. Really?
yeah. The more you work, the more you get paid. I mean, and I think that's the same for about any job.
Do you know how long you get deployed for?
It can be anywhere from like a year to like 4 years. Like you could just be out there for forever, or it could be like a month and a half.
So if you have kids, I'm not saying you like maybe you just still want to have kids. But, like if you had kids, would you stop being an infantry person to like live with your family?
Depends on how old I am. If I'm like 45 and I got kids, I'll probably quit the military because I'm getting kind of old anyway. But if I'm a bit younger, I would be able to go negotiate with them and be like, hey, I'm
I was
ready to serve our country, but but I can't stay away for like forever. And I could maybe ask for like a lower job or something that's like only home
Less
based.
dangerous, kind
Yeah,
of.
maybe like instead they like make me like into like a recruiter.
Would your
something like
family?
that.
So basically, I know like a lot of military families, they get like in these like what's it called, forts? I think that's what they're called. Like they get like a whole bunch of benefits. Like, would they also get insurance? Like your wife and everyone in your family, as long as you stay in the army.
I believe so. As
Yeah, I
long
think
as
you
you
get
are
healthcare.
actively, as long as you're on active duty, your family will also get your health care. But once you leave, it's just you.
So once you quit the service, you get paid, but you just don't get the insurance anymore.
Yes, you get checks.
So it's not
Oh, really?
lifelong insurance. It's just
It's not
until
lifelong. It's just until you are off of active duty, and then you get checks from the government saying, thank you for your service. Until you're like, I don't know, like 80 or something like that.
Like, did your I don't I always wondered this actually. Do you get paid if you get like a medal or something, like Medal of Honor, Purple Heart? that
No,
type of
it's
stuff?
just one of like the highest like honors to get one.
Yeah, I know that.
You don't get paid money. Otherwise, you have people who are just doing it for the money.
Medal grind.
Yeah, metal
I think
grind
you get,
for it.
can
Came
get
around.
promoted easier.
You can
though.
get promoted. Yes, you can get promoted easier. It makes it a whole lot easier to be like, hey, I want to be in the Marine. Can I be inside the Marine? And they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Well, is that it really?
I think that unless do you have any other fun facts to share with us about infantry people?
Other than that, the working conditions are pretty hazardous, and you could probably die. I mean, not really. I mean, we do everything, although from capturing bases to jumping out of helicopters with some parachutes. We're like the front lines. So
Oh, so I guess like basically once you finish infantry, you get like it's easier to get into other schools like Navy, Air Force, I think, right?
well,
Uh,
after you finish the infantry, I highly doubt you'd go back to school to join a different branch. You could just enlist inside the other branches because you've already done your military training.
I bet you
I
have to
guess
still do the
because
weak
isn't that like for
training, though.
everything you have to do military training before you do any other thing?
Yeah, probably.
Basically, yes.
Probably.
Well, is that
Anyway.
about it?
I think.
Yeah.
All
Thank you for
right.
tuning
Do
in
you
to
have any other-
episode 2 of Why This Career. I'm Imagine.
And I'll be next with my career.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is your career?
I'll tell you next time.
All right. Cool.